everyone. Good morning. My name is Sandesh Kurkal, Global Strategy Solution and Transformation Leader for Neotangent. Neotangent, I just want to introduce Neotangent before getting into the subject. Today we will be talking about an interesting, I just want to share an insight on the area of unchain the supply chain through the middle office transformation and AI. And before we touch the subject, I quickly want to introduce who we are, Neotangent. Neotangent, it's new age business process management organization, providing primarily two key components in terms of services. One is the middle office from end-to-end supply chain services, and number two is the back office services that comprises of finance and accounting as well as HR services. Neotangent is a part of one of the global giants in trading and supply chain solutions, which is Li & Fung. Li & Fung, it's primarily a century-old organization in the business, to be very precise, 118 years old in the supply chain solutions, right? And we are 100% subsidiary of Li & Fung. However, we are also operating independently and serving other companies as far as supply chain, end-to-end supply chain services is concerned. Having said, let me quickly talk about some of the X factors which are influencing they are the key factors for the, disruptors, and which is causing a lot of turbulence in the area of supply chain. Number one is shift in inflation. We all know I don't need to talk about this subject, and geopolitics is the number two. Number three is evolving customer expectations. And number four is digital as well as generative AI. Just want to highlight on one thing here. While all of these factors are influencing every movement of supply chain, but one thing that we need to be very cautious that even they amplify and they influence the supply chain independently, and when they work together, they amplify the impact. So the impact is not 1 into 4, impact is X. Now, considering this fact, there is a great amount of potential, especially in the area of end-to-end supply chain, in creating the value. And we are using the word unchaining the supply chain. So what does it mean? As a supply chain, as a process, it's a lot of people think from the angle that it requires a great amount of, a number of years of expertise, and I'm being respectful to that, number of years of expertise. But there is also a requirement of demystifying the processes. That is when we call that as an unchaining the supply chain. So there is a great amount of opportunity for us in terms of demystifying the entire supply chain process. But how do we do that? What we are seeing is it can be done through consolidation process or the centralization process driven through the middle office transformation. Let me take a step back and talk about a few minutes about back office as well as middle office. If you see this page, I think this is visible for the, in the last chairs. If you see back office as well as middle office, back office primarily the finance and accounting activities, human resources activities, IT services, these are all predominantly been considered as back office operations, which are primarily the support functions. So we have seen a tremendous amount of consolidation activities past 20 to 30 years. Companies like Accenture, Genpact, Infosys. So all these companies have done a phenomenal amount of work in terms of consolidating these activities, and we could see a great amount of traction in terms of driving the transformation in these processes. However, when we get into the middle office process, which is primarily the delivery part or the fulfillment part, right from sourcing till the fulfillment, the amount of consolidation is not really encouraging. And there is a great amount of opportunity for this process. Let me give some examples from the research that we have seen from HFS. In 2023, there was a survey, and that survey says just 15% of sustainability processes within supply chain has been centralized or been, given to the, partners for driving the transformation. And just 17% of transportation management activities has been centralized. So it says great amount of potential is there in consolidating the processes in the area of middle office. And if we look at the data of 2024, it says, the same survey says, now the trend has changed. Companies are looking at either doing consolidation or bringing the partners in driving the consolidation or centralization and hence driving the transformation. Approximately 60% of the companies are looking for that. I think this is a very good trend to look at. Once we consolidate, what would be the impact? The number one impact is the visibility. It enhances the visibility right from planning, sourcing, production, all the way through the last mile delivery and the aftermarket. Tremendous amount of visibility will be generated by consolidating the processes. And it's not a conceptual thing that has been proven, because we from the Neo Tangent, we actually did, and I'm proud to say that 20 years ago, we did this within Li & Fung ecosystem. Within Li & Fung, we actually consolidated the entire middle office processes, and we brought it under one umbrella. So it's not a concept. It's no longer a concept. So it is a proven subject, and that is possible, and that is going to drive a great amount of potential. Number one, it's going to enhance the visibility. Number two, it creates that resilience, like our ability to withstand all the turbulences and going back to the normal stage. I think that enhances the resilience. And it also helps us in driving the agility into the processes. 3 big climbs in terms of matrices. And if you see at the bottom, we are also talking, it impacts the cost of goods sold, which is completely a big thing. I'm going to talk about that subject in the next succeeding slides. So as a whole, supply chain, unchaining the supply chain is a great transformation opportunity that we can actually see. I also want to spend few minutes on that word unchain in the context of consolidation. So what does it mean exactly? When we say unchain, what does it mean? It means that from the proven practices that we have seen in the business process management, all the activities, it's sitting here in the head. Now, when you say unchain, means you break that processes that has actually happened in other activities in the back office, but we can replicate the same techniques and the methodologies in the area of end-to-end supply chain as well. So when we say unchain, means you break down the activities at a very transactional step level and you simplify that so that you will be able to create that knowledge base. It means it's no longer sitting in the head, no longer it's sitting with one person. You are actually trying to institutionalize that knowledge with a very proven methodology of creating the knowledge. So that is what the unchain means. So once we are able to do that, then we will be able to replicate the same process across industries, different industry, because in the market you will not be able to get one person specialized for all the industry, nowhere. But if we have the institutionalization methodology of creating this knowledge, that is going to build our talent pool in the future. And somehow that is going to address a lot of challenges that we face in the area of supply chain. Okay? Now, how do we bring this value? Once we consolidate, Once we centralize, then it enhances the visibility, it enhances the agility and the resilience, and it gives us the ability to transform the processes. Transform the process. It started with RPA, definitely, but it doesn't stop at only RPA. There are multiple dimensions. AI is a big story here, and including generative AI. Lot of opportunities in terms of AI. I can give you some examples. Within Li and Feng and even Neotangent, we have successfully adopted generative AI, especially in terms of product design. In designing our apparel products, we have actually successfully implemented generative AI, and there are also successful cases, and even it is under the test, especially the adaptation of blockchain for the sustainability processes. So tremendous amount of AI opportunities in the area of supply chain, but a lot of the things need to happen through the previous thing that we talked about, because it's all about the consolidation and the centralization. Once we fix that, then we hit the data, and once we hit the data, then we can actually generate a lot of transformation opportunity in terms of AI. Interesting topic, cost of goods sold. Now, you may be surprised how it is relevant from the supply chain perspective. Let me just take one example. Can you see this? It's a mouth freshener, right? Now, I just paid 2.5 euros to this, and out of that, approximately around 60% of that 2.5, approximately 1.5 euros will be COGS. So what does it mean? It's coming from whatever we are talking today, supply chain. So supply chain, from the concept of material cost, from the conversion cost, and even the logistics cost, everything is finally impacting COGS, cost of goods sold, which is almost 60% of your total revenue. So that is the potential of the end-to-end. When we say end-to-end supply chain, that is the potential. It means that if we actually bring these two things together, means entire supply chain function, which is actually governed by a COO organization, or chief supply chain officer or chief procurement officer, whoever, because it's a different vertical altogether. And another function, which is the finance, and specifically on the COGS, governed by CFO organization. If we bring these two things together, though it is a diplomatic challenge, but conceptually, if we bring these two things together, then the amount of value that can be generated in any organization can be this. It means you should be able to supply chain as a function. It's not only ends in following up for fulfillment, but it also drives huge amount of value to the organization. As of now, we are all seeing that supply chain no longer is an operational topic. It has already become a boardroom topic. It has already become the boardroom topic. Now, how do we enhance that position from there and ensure that we stay there as a supply chain function? This is the one. Means it's not only about delivering the products at the right time, it is also about creating that, impacting that big value, which is cost of goods sold, COGS, either through cost optimization, cost savings, or even through cost avoidance. Tremendous amount of opportunity is still there. And within Neotangent, we have built a center of excellence in order to drive specifically this integration of supply chain services along with the finance. It means when a person who is working as a supply chain person, he looks at the finance dimension. Similarly, once a person is working as a finance person, he looks at the things from the supply chain perspective. And hence there is an integration, and that integration is enabled by an application. So that is what we have built in NeoTangent, and I think there is a great amount of potential opportunity for the enterprise to look into this area. Now, from the NeoTangent perspective, we have, as I mentioned earlier, it's a company of century-old legacy of knowledge that we carry from Li and Feng, and we also carry 20 years of operational expertise. So in terms of deep domain expertise, we are there in the supply chain services in the market, playing the role of middle office, as well as playing the role of business process management organization, providing the services to the customers. And second thing is partner ecosystem. We drive the value along with our partners. The partners are sitting in the Li and Feng ecosystem itself. It means that partners sitting next to the chair. We do not need to go to partners, right? Like different companies in terms of data, in terms of analytics, in terms of sustainability. We have a dedicated organization which is actually looking at the sustainability factor. So we have a fair amount of partnership network. Through that, we drive the sustainability process and also add the value to the end-to-end supply chain. Last but not the least is the value partnering mechanism that we have. It's an overall commercial model. It means when we look at any business proposals, we do not just look at FTE models or transactional models. It's overall the value that we are going to generate as an ecosystem, or the value that we are going to give back to our customers. So these are all our key differentiators. That is our ways of working when we get into the business. This is what I had today to share with you. Just want to sum up the entire concept. One is the consolidation process, unchaining the supply chain process through the consolidation, through the middle office processes, and driving the transformation through AI. And there is a great amount of opportunity in integrating the supply chain along with the finance and creating that value of COGS, cost of goods sold. Having said, thank you so much for providing this opportunity. In case of any questions, please do let me know. One more thing, last but not the least, please visit our booth number 2, where in case if you have any questions or you want to know more about NeoTangent, please visit the booth. And you can also visit our website, www.neotangent.com. Thank you so much.